bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, chiri, biri, biri, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, chiri, biri, biri, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. What makes this day so beautiful? Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom, the peace of Shabbat. Ma yafeh hayom, ma yafeh hayom, ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Mevorach, Shabbat Shalom Mevorach, Shabbat Shalom Mevorach, Shabbat Shalom Mevorach, Shabbat Shalom. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Candles burn in the window every Friday night. Listen close and look within. Be part of our lives. We're singing together joyfully, passing love along. Shabbat keeps our family. Week by week, we're growing strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so great to be here with all of you. So one of the positive sides of this pandemic has been having my kids home with me, which can be a positive and a negative depending on the moment. But one of the good things there is that I have a daughter who is always overflowing with excitement and energy. And when I came down this afternoon from doing some work, she ran up to me with this huge smile on her face just to give me a hug. She ran back and forth between using chalk on the ground to draw some things and doing another project over here. And I was just struck by her sense of wonder and her sense of joy. The first Friday of every month, we have the ability to join in on this family service for families with young children, but truly it's not just for families with young children. It's for the inner child in every single one of us. And so today, as we welcome in Shabbat, as we welcome in this joyful day, we have the ability to be like my daughter was earlier today, to get up and dance, to rejoice, to celebrate the beauty of every soul who is joining us here in prayer today, of the chalot that we'll see on the screen, of the flickering flames of Shabbat. This week's Torah portion reminds us what a blessing Shabbat truly is. It says, "You shall keep Shabbat, for it is holy to you. A Shabbat of complete rest, a covenant for all time between me and the Jewish people. For in 6 days the Eternal made heaven and earth, and the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed." Tonight, we have the privilege of welcoming in this holy day as a community. And for the honor of leading us in lighting the candles, despite the fact that he has a power outage right now, I'm going to call on Elliot and Gail Schwartz to lead us in this blessing.
So we really, truly, this doesn't work, need the light of Shabbat tonight, quite literally. Let's see. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with your commandments and has commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitchanu b'mitzvotav, letzivanu lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat.
And that is dedication to do an honor right there, doing it even in the dark. Thank you so much, Gail, for leading us so beautifully in that prayer. And then we continue with welcoming Shabbat with our blessing over the grape juice or the wine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'vratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. And our next blessing is the blessing over the Challah. So for tonight, we happen to have several of our half-pinters or several of our students in the Torah school who have made beautiful chalot, and I invite all of you to lead us, to unmute, and to lead us in the blessing over our challah.
Trying to find all of them.
Okay, can you see it? Okay. Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. Hey Avon, everyone.
Hey, Avon, thank you so much.
Beautiful chalot you guys baked. They're beautiful.
Thanks.
Gorgeous.
They certainly are. So with that, we prepare to sing the words of L'cha Dodi. and where we welcome in the Sabbath bride. But as we do that, so too can we welcome in one another. So I invite you to look into the chat, whether you are on Facebook or on Zoom, and to write a message of greeting to someone, maybe someone you know well, maybe someone you don't know at all, just wishing them a Shabbat Shalom.
לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה שבת שלום שבת שלום שבת שלום ומבורך Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, umevorach.
We turn to our call to worship, where we call ourselves and one another to prayer.
Ha'ma'ariv
Love beyond all space and time, Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and when we rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all of our days. May we always feel your love. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, God, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, when you rise, when you rise.
The Mi Chamocha is one of my favorite prayers because it's impossible to really say the words of the Mi Chamocha without smiling. Who is like you, O God? Who is like you, who created miracles, who did wonders in this world? Just as the Israelites sung joyfully on the shores of the sea when they celebrated their freedom, so too do we this evening sing with reckless abandon, gratitude, and joy.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot, osei vele, osei vele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha נהדר בקודש. Continue with these words of Hashkivenu, and in the photo that we've included here, we often talk to you about this beautiful tradition at Camp Newman of spreading the talitot over the campers. And in this particular photo, one of our oldest campers is in there. I wouldn't say he's one of the oldest campers because there's a lot more that actually are older than him, but you'll notice that Elliot and Gail Swartz are in there, and enjoying the time that they have with these amazing kids each and every year, and being able to bless these wonderful children just as we do our own, just as we do each other here in this congregation with these words of Hashkivenu, spreading over our virtual canopy of peace as we ask that God be present and guard us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, ve'ha'amidenu shomrenu lechayim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim Shalom, Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
We turn to the Amidah as we focus ourselves on these words of prayer and the words of our hearts. Whether we stand with our bodies or direct our hearts and our souls upward, let us offer these prayers together.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
So on these services, on the first Friday of the month, I have the pleasure of sharing a story. We will do this blessing, but not quite yet. The Cantor's just so excited to do birthday blessings for all of our kids that he just had that up there already. We're all very excited for that. But first, I get to tell a story. And as I was going through my books of beautiful Jewish stories that I have in my home, I realized that actually there is no better story to tell than the story that actually takes place in this week's Torah portion. So this week, we have the story of the golden calf. Moses was called by God to go up Mount Sinai and to receive the 2 tablets of the 10 commandments that he had up there. And after 40 days, the Israelites were waiting down below in anticipation, so excited to receive these 10 commandments, to hear from Moses and to see their leader once more. Well, as the 40th day began to go by, hour by hour, the Israelites began to get increasingly anxious because they hadn't seen Moses in 40 days and 40 nights. He had been on the top of this mountain all by himself in the midst of a desert. They worried, what if something happened to him? What if we didn't have our leader? What if we were all alone? And so the Israelites tried to figure out what they could do in order to calm themselves down at this moment. And what did they do? They took the jewelry that they had gotten when they were in Egypt, right before they left and marched to freedom. They took this jewelry and they cast it and turned it into a golden calf. And they put this golden calf in an area, and around it, they began to dance and to sing to try to get themselves to feel a little better, to connect with something bigger than themselves. So what was wrong with this? Well, this was idol worship. And in Judaism, that is just about one of the worst things that you could possibly do. So bad, in fact, that on these 10 commandments that we have right here, number 1 is there is only one God, and number 2 is we should not make pretend gods. That's how bad it is. So when Moses came down the mountain after these 40 days and 40 nights, what does he do? He sees the Israelites that are worshiping this calf, and he is absolutely beside himself with anger. How could they be doing this? And Moses, filled with anger, took the tablets that he was holding with the words of God, and he threw them and shattered them into 1,000,000 pieces. The Israelites had to repent. The Israelites had to, in some way, show how sorry they were for the mistake that they made. There's a lot of power then in the middle of this text, this really, really important text. The Israelites at a pivotal moment make a mistake. But there's even more power in what comes next. Because a short while after this happens, Moses pleads with God to give the Israelites another chance. Moses pleads with God to give them the 10 commandments once more. And indeed, after some time, after the Israelites have a chance to repent, God says, yeah, okay, I'm going to give you another set of tablets. And so Moses again walks up for 40 days and 40 nights, except this time, the Israelites accept the tablets, and the sacred bond between the people and God is formed. But here's the thing. The rabbis teach us, and even the Torah teaches us, that there is an ark, a really special place in which these tablets, these 10 commandments, this Torah is kept. And in that ark, we have the 2 full tablets that God gave Moses the second time. But we also have the pieces of the shattered tablets from the first time. What's the power in that? Well, that we as human beings, that we as Jews, that we are Israelites are not perfect. We can't be. That we make mistakes and we err sometimes in really, really big ways. But we can actually be better for the mistakes that we made. Rather than being ashamed of what happened before, the Israelites learn that sometimes our greatest mistakes give us the ability to learn and to grow. And so this Torah portion can teach us the power of accepting ourselves as imperfect beings who are always capable of moving to greater and greater and greater heights. And yes, as Judy Frankel wrote in the chat, we do in fact get a do-over. This is a really, really powerful message in the Torah, one of the many, many powerful messages in the Torah. And as we kind of keep this to heart, as we reflect on this week's Torah portion, I'd like to also offer something else that we do on the first Friday of the month. And that is to offer blessings to all of our students who are having birthdays, who are under the age of 13. Is there anyone here who has a birthday in the month of March who's under the age of 13, or 13 can count too? Olivia, do you have a birthday this month?
No, but my cousin Lucas does.
That is wonderful. Well, we wish your cousin Lucas a very happy birthday. Is there anyone else here who has a birthday?
It's on St. Patrick's Day.
Very cool. It's a neat day to have a birthday. If you have a birthday in the month of March and you're a child, I invite you to unmute. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay, well, I think that March is not a popular month for child birthdays in our congregation. That is quite all right. But if you are over the age of 13, you'll have to come back next week because we're going to be doing blessings or anniversaries and birthdays for adults next month. So since we don't have any birthdays in our congregation, though of course we wish a happy birthday to your cousin Olivia, we're going to turn to a different kind of blessing, which is a blessing for someone really special in our community. Whoops. And now my computer has decided it doesn't like me and I can't get to what I wrote. Okay. So our congregation is blessed with so many phenomenal volunteers who serve our community in a myriad of different ways. And Elliot Swartz happens to be one of them. In addition, Elliot was recently honored for completing his 10-year term as a Union of Reform Judaism North American Board Trustee, which he'd served doing for the past 10 years. And there's a couple of quotes that we compiled about Elliot, the first being from Rabbi Rick Jacobs, who's the president of the URJ. He said, "One of the key issues that resonates with Elliot is engaging our Jewish youth to help them become committed Jewish leaders. During his decade on the NAB, he has worked extensively with our young people, primarily at Camp Newman. He says it was especially rewarding to spend time with campers, cooking with them, and seeing them develop what would become lifelong friendships. He says that camping will always remain a priority in his future endeavors." And because of this, he was recently honored by the URJ board, and we tonight have the honor of bestowing an honor on him as well. There are also many people from the camping world who wanted to extend congratulations and words of gratitude to Elliot for all that he has done. In his commitment to camping life, he has inspired these words of congratulations. Among the highlights of Elliot's board tenure were serving on the Juvenation Committee, the Finance and Budget Committees, the Camp Newman Task Force, the NAC, the Lay Cabinet of USA, the World Zionist Congress 2020, and he was also involved in the Congregational Assessment Mentor Program. Elliot has served as a powerful leader in our congregation as well as the national URJ level, and we are grateful for all that he has done and all that he continues to do. In this week's Torah portion, after the whole piece that we talked about a few minutes ago, Moses receives a second set of tablets after the earlier debacle. And Moses, he loved Torah. He was inspired by its stories and its moral teachings. It informed the kind of person and leader that he was. So when he came down from the mountain, he had no idea of the ways in which the Torah had changed him. According to the Torah, Moses' face was illuminated so brightly that it cast light on everyone in his midst. Now, Elliot needs that light tonight because the light is out in his house, but he also cast light on all of us. Elliot, I'm not comparing you to Moses, but like him, you too emanate the warmth of Jewish teachings, a strong moral compass, a love of Jewish wisdom and Jewish people, and a fervent commitment to everyone who you serve. Today, we honor all you have done and all you continue to do. And that's why Temple Bethel is proud to dedicate a leaf on our newly rehung tree of life, which you can see reads in honor of Elliot Swartz for his service on the URJ North American Board of Trustees 2010 to 2020. And we can all wish you a huge hearty mazel tov for everything you've done, and a yashar koach for strength and all the good that you continue to do. I'd like to offer you, Elliot, a blessing of the priestly benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you in all you do. May you continue to inspire and to be inspired. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God's face continue to shine on you, and may you continue to reflect that radiance onto the Jewish community. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God continue to lift you up as the blessing that you are, and may you find wholeness, fulfillment, and peace. Mazal Tov, Elliot. Thank you so much. And I love all of these beautiful words of congratulations and Mazel Tov in the chat. We are so, so very blessed. As we continue to bask in Elliot's glow over there and the glow of all the candles burning in his home, we turn to one another and strive to bring some radiance, some comfort into the lives of people in our community who are in need of healing, healing of mind, healing of body, and healing of spirit. I invite you to place the names into the chat of anyone who could benefit from the Mishaberach prayer. We're thinking about Gilda Huey and Jerry Sorkin. We're thinking about Barbara Burke and Fedora Brooks, Barry Tischler, Mark Newman, Tony Weisberg, Richard Strum, Pat Wade, Rena Bat Miriam, Kathy Coleman, Sheila Chandra, all the people on the weekly email list, Tamar Davidson and Pat Wade, Reva Skoll, Josie and Steven Gianetto, Jackie Barley, Frank, Umpai, Dar Minto, Ian Allen, Laura Giardo, Sunny Felberg, Susan Felberg, Josh Montgomery, and Dennis Valois, Ellen Schauber, Bela Devora, Bat Esther Butzi, Adam Smalls, Grandpa Bob Marco, Sylvia Davis, Paige, Daniel, Marty Spiegel, Marguerite, Nuri, and Letty, Robin Gregson, Elvia Gubert, Eric Hamburg, Joanna Hamburg, Jennifer Hamburg-Roski, Debbie Rosas, Katrina Pelto, Donna Cohen, Donnie Platz, Mark Chernoff, Jan and Rich Siroti, everyone with COVID-19, Gordon Goldberg, Emma Bast, Nancy, Pete Moss, Bill Brand, Patrice Fink and the Hermosa Finks, and anyone else in need of healing, Carol Zeifman, Sam Morris, Gilda Huey, everyone whose names we've said out loud, Sarah Gill, and everyone whose names we hold in our hearts, let us offer this prayer in hopes that they have a quick, speedy, and complete recovery.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings healing and wholeness to all of those in search of your presence. And we all say, Amen.
Amen. We come together as community not only to say the Mishaberach prayer of healing, but also to say a prayer of memory of all those who have died in recent days and those who have died at this time in years past. We are honoring people who have died within the past couple of weeks, Brandon, Rosen, and Millie Planetz. We are also observing yahrzeits for Lawrence Appel, Hattie Arkoff, Irving Berg, Darrell Bernard, Sanford Boardman, David Botwinick, Kyle Brooks, Charlie Brucker, Francis Irvin Butler, Blanche Cohen, Nathan Cooper-Smith, Minna Shore Cutler, David Feinberg, Louis Joseph Frisch, Conrad Frischman, Sari Galt, Solomon Gerlacki, Arnold Hoffnung, Eva Jerome, Ira Katch, Jacob Katz, Miriam Kay, Molly Kotkin, Frey Levy, Rose Levitan, Manuel Lewis, Hugo Maurer, Frederick Mishkin, Eileen Morosky, Danny Northrup, Bethy Peltz, Irving Peskowitz, Conrad Platt, Sam Pomerantz, Mac Prince, David Rinsky, Julia Rubenfeld, Esther Ridikoff, Riva Salk, Della Sarner, Joseph Schultz, Isidore Scharf, Joseph Shore, Bessie Siegel, Layla Smith, Rosalie Snyder, Gilano Solari, David Tabrinsky, Susan Tolmack, Bertha Treader, Nathan Turk, Hannah Sarah Weinberg, Philip Wallach, Suzanne Wayne, and Shirley Zamos Drexler. In their memory, in the memory of Celia Villasener, Celia Graysdorf, David Graysdorf, and anyone else, Mayor Hirsch, and anyone else who we are remembering this evening, let us together join in saying these words of Kaddish Yatom, of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'almad yivrach cherotei ve'amlich malchotei. V'chayachon u'vyomachon uv'chaye dekol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Alinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing.
Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So glad that you were able to be here tonight. We're so thrilled that we were able to honor Elliot Swartz and that Gail was able to take part in lighting candles this evening, and all of our Torah School families who led us in the blessing over the Challah. Thank you so much for doing that. I also want to thank our Zoom greeter, Jessica Feldman, for so beautifully welcoming everyone into services tonight, and to Linda Rubin, who's going to be making some announcements on behalf of the board.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom. It is my pleasure to be here tonight representing the Temple Bethel Board of Directors. I would also like to extend a hearty mazel tov to Elliot Swartz on his incredible accomplishment as a trustee with the URJ North American Board. We are very proud of you and the commitment and dedication you have given and continue to give to our Jewish youth. I am so pleased that we were able to recognize you tonight, Elliot, and share this milestone with you and your family. I would like to mention a few of our upcoming services and programs for this weekend. Tomorrow morning, please join Rabbi Cassi and Cantor Ilan at 10 o'clock for our monthly healing service. This special service utilizes a blend of music, poetry, prayer, and meditation. Kaddish will be also recited. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., we are excited to bring back Torah on and off the trails with Rabbi Cassi. Sign into Zoom from the trail of your choosing or even your backyard for a guided walk filled with prayerful music, reflection, conversation, and the beauty of nature. Then tomorrow evening at 7 p.m., please join us for a special Havdalah service in honor of Refugee Shabbat. Rabbi Cassi will lead us in Havdalah prayers and music, and as we send out Shabbat and usher in a brand new week. And finally, this Sunday, you are invited to participate in 2 programs. First, at 10:30 in the morning, please join us for a conversation about perspectives on the global Jewish movement for refugees. We'll hear from organizations working in collaboration with Jewish communities in Europe, Canada, Latin America, and the United States in support of displaced people, and explore how the Jewish movement for refugees is evolving. And the second program on Sunday begins at 2 p.m. with our artist Beit Midrash. This month's program features the renowned artist Ruth Weisberg. Ruth is a professor of fine arts at USC, and her work has been shown and collected worldwide. All are welcome to join us. Again, I wish everyone a peaceful Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Linda. I just want to add a couple of quick things to those announcements. So for Refugee Havdalah tomorrow night, it actually is in some ways going to be a program put together by HIAS that we're going to start all together, but it's actually part of a national program that is led by Rabbi Rachel Grant Meyer, who's the rabbi in residence and who was a classmate of mine at HUC. She's the rabbi in residence at HIAS, the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society. Rabbi Yosef Goldman, Rabbi Annie Lewis, Leah Kalish, and other fellow refugee advocates and activists across the globe who are going to be putting this on, and blessings will be woven together with voices of historical and contemporary refugees. We'll also enjoy a live performance of the song "You Were Strangers" from the spiritual folk rock show Revival. So it's going to be a really, really powerful program that I hope you can take part in tomorrow evening. And one other quick thing that I want to make sure you know about is that Gail Birch had this phenomenal idea called Passover in the Aisles. And essentially there are 8 grocery stores where we are going to have little booklets about some of the Temple Bethel programs and how to put together a Passover Seder that's going to be out there. So if you go to a grocery store, that's going to be going out into these grocery stores on Wednesday. If you go out to a grocery store and you see these little packets that are going to be there, take a selfie with the packets and post it or send it to me so that we can share our TBE pride. It's a great thing for us to do and community outreach. And I hope that everyone is getting ready for some awesome Oneg breakout rooms. Cantor, would you like to lead us in that?
We are going to whisk you away right now into your Oneg breakout rooms. We hope you enjoy Oneg Shabbat with all of your Temple Bethel family and friends. Shabbat Shalom.